Age of Water. Think Fallout 4 mixed with Crossout, mixed with something like Sunken Land. Age of Water is a new online adventure game that is releasing in Q1 of 2024 into early access. It's an online adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic Earth that has been completely submerged in water. Everything is water apart from a few landmarks that we'll be able to come across and bases that we will build. We'll be sailing through storms, fighting and trading with merchants as we capture people's boats or completely destroy them to take their resources. We'll be extracting resources from the bottom of the ocean and revealing the secrets of the Age of Water world. Now, if that sounds good to you, subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the video. I'm very interested in this game and will definitely be covering it a little bit more. It is definitely a little bit different than what we normally cover on the channel, but as I went through previously, we will be making a few adjustments to the games that we cover, and we'll be covering a little more just interesting stuff rather than just solely survival. And hopefully that helps and people enjoy it. If they do, let me know down in the comments below if there's certain things you want me to check out. Also let me know down below. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, it looks very much like something like Crossout, and that is because the developer is 3 Whales Studios and the publisher is Gaijin Distribution KFT. Now, they are mainly known for free-to-play online PvP MMO games or PvE/PvP games such as Crossout. So the actual mechanics when it comes down to the boats, survival and combat is very similar. You've got to build up your own boat, you've got to go out and you've got to fight enemies. But the beauty of this game is it is much more of a story-based game than just a mainly PvP game. There's PvP elements to it, but you can actually go through the entire game without having to deal with any of those PvP elements if that is what you choose to do. Now, as you can see from the background, there's plenty of ship battles and plenty of locations that you'll be able to go around. You can do this alone or with friends. Or, as I mentioned, just go around and destroy everyone and anything that you see. That's if you've got a powerful enough boat. Now, alongside building these boats into whatever the hell you want, and there's some pretty unique and wacky creations that you'll be able to come up with, you'll actually have your own base as well that you can build. I can't find out whether these bases are raidable or whether this is just a open base where people can see it but nobody can actually get in or tamper with anything or destroy it. I'm hoping that that is the way, because building a base and having somebody blow it up it's depressing, but it can be fun for certain people. But as I say, there are ways that you can go through the entire game without actually having any PvP encounters at all. And that is because you will see other players going around, you'll all be on one instance, and you can see them moving, doing what they want to do, but you don't actually have to fight them. You can fight them if you want in select PvP areas, which is good, and I like that idea because it does bring a lot of that PvP element into the PvE aspects and definitely broadens the horizons when it comes to player base. It seems like a lot of games are making that move now towards a PvE/PvP structure, such as Pioneer, which will have a video coming out in a few days as well. That looks very interesting and looks a lot like Fallout 4 too. Now, Age of Water is going to be fun, mainly through the actual building and the quest lines themselves. There's a full quest line with various NPCs that you can meet with, trade with, do missions, and this will lead you to raiding bases, finding hidden resources at the bottom of the sea, and looking for hidden treasure, which is really, really quite cool. I do like the idea of this game. The only thing that does make me feel a little bit meh is the graphic style of it. It seems very cartoony. But it looks like it's got a sort of Outer Worlds vibe mixed with the Fallout 4 seriousness, which I really love those two games, and I think blending the two together could make something that is very, very interesting. Now, when it comes to your giant ships, you will need a crew to man them and help you fight in all sorts of various battles. Now, this crew is AI. You don't actually need any enemies or teammates to... And this crew is AI. You don't actually need teammates to play with. You can play the game completely solo and have everything on your ship function and have no limits to the size. You can go all the way up to 30 meters, which is one hell of a beastie boat. And I like the idea of that. As you've been able to see in the trailers in the background, there is all sorts of various things that you can do with your boats, and you can have a tiny little boat that's built for speed, or you can have an absolute tank that rolls around destroying anything that comes near you. And there will be various situations that call for both. You will need to have a speedy little boat that can give you a quick getaway, and also a massive tank that you can destroy enemy bases with, or completely raid into them and take everything that you wish. Now, not to confuse, when I do say enemy on this, I do mean AI enemy, I don't mean players. But the overall theme of the game is going to be you going on a giant adventure through the ocean-covered Earth and looking for resources, scavenging, building, and finding out the secrets to the Age of Water world and what happened to this once destroyed great civilization. The people have survived and adapted and built settlements on the roofs of tall buildings, on other man-made structures, and you'll even see some giant oil rig cities, which looks so damn cool. Now we'll progress through the story by getting quests from NPCs and learning a little bit about the actual storyline and what the characters are doing and how we've got to where we've got through doing that storyline. And when it comes to the story, you'll be able to explore at your own pace. There's going to be no rushing, but you will have a slower time when it comes to gathering those bigger ship parts and bigger base extensions, because a lot of that stuff is tied into the actual quest lines themselves, and you'll be able to increase your power and your actual bases and boats as you progress through the main story. Now when it comes to your boats, you'll be able to build these completely from scratch if you choose to, or you can commandeer enemy player boats and take them back to your base and have them as your own and then modify those, or just completely leave it as it is and use a beastie based boat that somebody else has crafted. You're going to be able to make anything from a tiny little fishing boat all the way up to a giant 30-meter trawler, installing equipment such as solar panels, wind turbines, everything that you'll need to get the power, and of course your weaponry. And then we also have our little own naval base, which you've seen a few little bits about it, which you're going to be able to use those to produce things that you'll be able to make your boats with and build factories for production of weapons, equipments, and everything that you'd actually need to survive in this open water world. Now, I did mention the publisher is Gaijin Distribution KFT, and they mainly do free-to-play titles with a hell of a lot of pay-to-win aspects. Now, the developers did put out something on the 20th of December trying to clarify that this is not a free-to-play game. This game will have a price tag. The price tag is not known yet, but they are not planning on doing any sort of season pass or any sort of pay-to-win at all. There will not be a session-based online PvP element like War Thunder or Crossout. It's just purely an open-world adventure game with certain online features that will help enrich the experience, which is good. And as I mentioned, it is completely possible to go through the entire game without actually engaging in any PvP activities or interacting with other players, which is good. And I'm definitely excited for Age of Waters. Now, it definitely reminds me of something along the lines of Waterworld, the old movie, which a lot of people said Sunken Land looked a lot like that. But either way, I hope it is going to be good. I'm very, very excited for this sort of Mad Max water style game. Looks awesome, going to be loads of fun, and I can't wait to see what comes of it. We still don't know the exact release date. Hopefully we will find out more. If you want to know more about the game, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out the links in the description down below, which will lead you to all of their socials. But now though, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.